He has taken the real estate industry by storm and has created quite a buzz while doing it. He is known as the homeboy. Genny said they did 294 sides roughly last year, but by the way, he did 94 of those himself while leading the team to 294 transactions. So let's give a big Birmingham welcome to Ashton Gustafson.
I can remember like it was yesterday, waking up and I'm humming this song that I had written of Let the Music Play, and it's all of a sudden like, I didn't even know who Zig Ziglar was, but I like became Zig Ziglar. I'm like in the shower, sitting there, you know, and I'm like, today I'm going to change the world. Today I'm going to challenge the status quo. Today the music's going to play. And I mean, it sounds funny and it sounds very innocent. I sometimes miss that guy of innocence, but I'm sitting there and I'm just talking to myself like, I'm sorry, it's a bad day if your name isn't Ashton and you're selling real estate. That's unfortunate to be you. So, you know, I'm like, at this time I ranked 320 out of 320 agents in the market. I grew up in the city. There's 100,000 people there. I know half of them. My grandparents do a ton of the deals. Something's up, and it was me. You know, it was all on me. It was all on these shoulders. I wasn't doing things right. So the next day, the young man wakes up, and I walk into the office, and I'm not doing that stumble thing anymore. Back when I was VP of the Soul Driver Sign Division, I walk in and I'm focused. I mean, I've got like laser focus to my steps, and I'm looking people in the eye, and I'm shaking hands with like this playtime is over grip. Kind of like your handshake, you know, that's a dynamite. And you know, so I'm just, things changed that day, and out of nowhere, I tear off this big sheet of butcher paper, and I just write in font that's like this big, like 400-point font in magic marker, 60 homes sold, 2006. Now, this is very laughable. You see, the average agent in America sells, what, 7, 8 homes a year? I've never sold anything. So I was basically saying that I was going to be 850% greater than average, which I'm like way below. I'm like non-existent. Like I shouldn't even, you can't even say that I had a license. I just, you know, used some electricity in the office building. And so I write 60 homes. I have no idea where that comes from. And so remember, I didn't know who Zig Ziglar was, but he inhabited my body somehow, some way. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, if 60 homes is going to happen, Bubba, you better break that down a little bit. So I take another big sheet of butcher paper and I write 15 homes sold in Q1, 15 homes sold in Q2. 30 homes sold by June, 60 homes sold by December 31st. 5 homes sold a month, that equals 60. Basically, a little over a house a week is going to be the only way that I hit my goal. And I was already 45 days into the year, so if I was going to do this, something better get going. But then I had another aha moment. 60 homes, but you currently don't have anyone actively looking. So probably before anybody buys anything from you, you may need to go get a body, somebody, a body. You know, you got to go find somebody. So I got Zig Ziglar again, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well then that means that I've got to find a way to generate these leads. I've got to find a way to communicate with people because it seems like, the lead comes before the sale. Who knew? I mean, I thought that the clouds let them fall and we held the buckets and they just walk in our office and we go show them houses. I'm like, nobody wrote this code for me, but okay, so I got it. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well if I'm going to do 60, then I'm going to say I'm going to need to make 25 phone calls in a day. I'm also going to need to send 25 personal emails in a day. Not a drip, not a systematic thing, a true, hey, Collier, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. We looked at a house last week. Here's a seller's disclosure. Can I set up a time for you to see it again? Here's the average utilities. Here's the average price per foot in that neighborhood. Whatever it was, it didn't matter. It was a touch. Then I was also 5 times a day going to take out pen and paper and handwrite somebody a note. Write it, date it, sign it, lick the envelope, stamp it, and put it in the mailbox. That was the only thing I knew to do. At this point, I didn't have a website. I didn't have an assistant. I didn't have a billboard. I didn't have a radio ad. I didn't have anything. And so I started doing these things. And I looked at it and I was like, if I do this, that's going to be 6,500 personal emails in a year. And if I do this, that's going to be 65 phone calls in a year. And if I do this, that's going to be 1,300 times somebody gets their mail and finds something from me. Could be a second grade teacher. Thank you for investing in me when I was 10 years old. I still remember that Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. It could be my old youth pastor. Hey, thank you for investing in me. I'm a better man because of you. It could have been the person I showed a house to. It could have been whoever. It could have been my mother. It could have been my grandmother. It could have been my wife. It didn't matter. The fact was, I was going to take the time to pull somebody out of the crowd and say, thank you for something. Saw on the Today Show a couple days ago that the average American gets 7 handwritten pieces of mail in the mail per year. If you want to get the attention of somebody, email and text does not do it.